I'm proud to rise today on behalf of my residents of Stormont, Dundas, and South Glengarry. So we've seen this action of this government over and over again. They continually put their own political survival ahead of Ontario's future and the needs of its people. They have changed their leader, or their stripes as the saying goes, but it's still the same old desperate Liberal Party, unwilling to do the right thing. They're asking us to trust them again, but that brings to mind the famous old saying, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. This government has run out of trust, and we cannot trust them to do the right thing anymore, especially when it comes to the supply of energy. When this former PC government commenced their plan to close all the coal-fired plants by 2014, the then Liberal Party scoffed at the plan and blindly promised to close it by 2007, against the advice of the experts. Then they promised 2011, again against the advice of experts, finally meeting the original 2014 commitment of the former Harris government, who were honest with Ontarians and based their policy on what the experts told them, contrary to what he knew was popular. One must remember that the then Liberal Premier, Dalton McGuinty, turned down an offer from Quebec way back 10 years ago for cheap, reliable, green hydroelectricity to develop his own made-in-Ontario solution. It may have sounded great back then, but history has sadly highlighted what a mistake it was. More political rhetoric with reason and advice experts thrown to the wind. They embarked on their green energy plan, failed with the support of the NDP against expert advice, who reported that our system could not efficiently accept the unpredictable and unmanageable wind and solar power, let alone trying to merge this expensive power guaranteed contracts into our own electric grid. And the Quebec plan, the member from Streetsville talked about how, yes, they have a surplus in the summer and we have a surplus in the winter. Well, why didn't they take advantage of that when it was offered to us instead of embarking on these crazy plans? And he also talked about, how people don't care. Well, people are caring, and we've seen that now in Scarborough, and we've seen it in Sault Ste. Marie. People are getting fed up with this government, and they're starting to care because they're losing their jobs. Their kids don't have jobs. And you know why? The companies that are leaving are finally standing up saying it's because we can't afford to stay in Ontario. We've had great solutions from some of our providers. Bruce Power offered good, clean storage. This government turned them down. They offered good, cheap nuclear power. This government turned them down. So what do we have? We have an expensive system that now nobody can afford. And we got technology that's telling us we're spreading it out over 30 years. And does anybody believe that we will trying to use this power in 30 years? Or technology might take us to a new source that would be much cheaper. But unfortunately, we're now bound by these contracts. And the members often say we don't have a plan. Well, we do have a plan. We plan to rein in executive salaries. We would not have sold Hydro One like the Liberals have done. We promised that we would treat the energy policy as an economic policy. But who knows how bad the system is, because we can't trust this government. You remember, they're in court because they raised so much of the government records. They're now in court, charged by the OPP, and the trials will start next week. So it'll be interesting to see just how big the mess is, because nobody really knows, because the government has cooked the books and hidden the price. Thank you.
Thank you. Further debate.